Is Bama outdated? Hashtag low tide. I thought that was pretty good.
Oh, that was nice.
That was nice. Thanks, guys.
Well
Thank you, Steve. I thought it was well done. So the shtick that Bama seems to run with every year, and the reason why I'm bringing it up now, and I noticed it this year, was their shtick is that we're outnumbered, we're being disrespected, we've got the greatest coach of all time. We just won the championship 2 years ago. Or like whatever the narrative is every year, it's always that our backs are against the wall. They think we're down and out. Nobody is expecting us to win. Yada yada yada. It's the same story year in and year out. Typically, it's okay and it works, but now you're 2 years not winning, which isn't that horrible. But for Saban standards, it's atrocious. And I noticed Kirby. Last year, they played that shtick that our back's against the wall, everybody's doubting us, we're losers, we suck. It worked. This year, I was expecting the same thing to come out, but it wasn't. It was fighting complacency. It was more of a humble approach, and I loved it. I talked about it 2 shows ago where I love his take on it. He goes, look, he accepts the fact that, hey, we are much better than, we know that we're good. We know that we're here and that we have arrived. And so we're going to go look at who somebody else was having major success, and looked at a rugby team out in New Zealand to how do we channel what they're doing. I'm not going to play this puppy dog card anymore. We are going to play like everyone's out to get us. We know that. I don't mind being here. I don't mind being the top dog, but we need to learn how to manage that control. I love that. It's different. Is it going to work out? We'll know soon enough. But Bama keeps playing the same card. One of their players said, we're going to go undefeated and we're going to win the national championship. That's old. You can't do that. You just lost the best player, the 2 best players in college football, according to the NFL draft, arguably the top 5 players in the NFL, and couldn't get it done. Lose to Tennessee, lose to LSU. LSU's better this year. Tennessee's still going to be hungry. You still got to get through Georgia. It's going to be a gauntlet. And like I said, I think Bama has came down to reality, and they are no longer in that tier all by themselves. Is the dynasty over? I think if you're still a competitive team, because think about it for the New England, they're considered a dynasty. They didn't win every year, but they were always competitive. Bama's in that same category, so I'm never going to say the dynasty is over. I think Georgia has started their dynasty, but I don't think it's over. Steve?
Well, I mean, look, it feels like what Alabama's dealing with now is what Ohio State has been dealing with for the last 6 years. They're a great team. They play the hell of it. They play the hell of it out of the regular season. They play some very competitive games, and then they end up losing enough to keep them out. Not that they're not a good football team. They're just not the best team in the NCAA, and it hasn't been that way in going on, 3-4 years? And look, like, how dare I say, as an FSU fan, that Alabama's not a national championship caliber team. They've been close enough. They've been good enough. They just haven't won the damn games that they needed to be there. They've been the Ohio State of college football. They've out Ohio State in the last year. So I think that's kind of where they're at right now, is until they can – it's not that they're the underdog. It's not that they have their backs against the wall. It's not that they're the target. It's not that they are anything other than their own worst enemy. They got to be – if they want to be Bama again, they got to go back to being Bama. And Bama used to beat the shit out of teams without a doubt.
Look,
right?
And so I think you mentioned it too at the shot towards Bill O'Brien, and I think
that was a big one.
We preferenced it a little bit at the beginning of the show, where they called him out of like, look, did you get too caught up in the fact that you had Will Anderson, that you had Bryce Young, that you forgot, you went away from what you know. You went away from Bama football, which is give the ball to Derrick Henry, give the ball to Trent Richardson, give the ball to Mark Ingram, and let the man
think
work.
Think about how many years that all the Alabama quarterback had to do was turn around and hand the damn ball off, and every quarter or every running back that he was handing the ball to is now an NFL starter, or at least an aged NFL starter for that matter. And now they have Roy Dell, and I think that he's another great one. But I think Saban, even in his own like press conference here, said we got too Bryce centric, and I don't think that's a shot at Bryce. I don't think that's a shot at the former quarterback. I think
he said that's not on Bryce. Bryce is doing Bryce is doing what's expected of him.
But what he's saying is that's not Alabama football. we got away from Alabama football and we started to run an offense in a
He's like, we need to go back to recruiting the doughy quarterbacks.
That's it. That's it right there. Turn around and just take, dude. Just
no more 5 stars.
Give me a guy that can't throw it 45 yards. Give me an A.J. McCarron all day. Right? An A.J. McCarron will win me 3 national championships because I can't throw the damn thing. I got to have 19 running backs in an offensive line that can basically start for the NFL right away. That's it. That's what they were winning championships with.
I think
now they got athletic quarterbacks.
We're going to see Bama go back to that.
Yeah.
Now, that's what scares me. I did see Travis says Bama always sits down year, then still wins a natty. Well, look, they've had two down years. I say down in quotations because it's not really a down year. For Bama standards, it's a down year. But look,
let me rebuttal here, man. I mean, they did lose Kirby Smart, and Kirby Smart was one hell of a recruiter for them and one hell of a defensive coordinator. Now he's at Georgia. And if you've noticed, Alabama's defenses fell off. And I think that's what's really holding them back is their defense. Like, the teams are able to score in Alabama now. They never used to be able to score as much. Like, look it up. If you go on rankings, you look at like how many points they've given up every year, like per FBS, pre-Kirby Smart or post-Kirby Smart. It's been a lot more. And on top of that, man, I don't care what Nick Saban says in his presser and say, oh, woe is me. You recruited like 9 5-stars last year and like 1 million top 100 players, man. You got like all the talent in the world. Plus, on top of that, some experienced players. I don't want to hear that, dude. Put your guys out there on the field, scheme it up, and win the football game. I mean,
and that's where obviously
like this, and my coach was going out there saying that, I'd be like, dude, you have all the talent. You have more talent than Georgia does right now. Georgia's number 2 in talent composite compared to you.
And that's why you can never sleep on Bama because of the talent pool that is just constantly flowing through Tuscaloosa. It's not going anywhere, and that's expected. Look, I'm not. I love Nick. He's the GOAT. I'm not trying to downplay this at all, but it's just like all good things come to an end, and I don't want it to come to an end. I like seeing guys dominate. As much as I'm not part of it, it's fun to watch. It's something that we'll go back and go, man, that was a hell of a time. Do you remember what Saban just ran college football? Like, it's fun. It sucks when you're in it, but it's cool. Yeah. It's a good time. So I'm not trying to like be
I was just gonna say, I think if he gets him a good DC, he'll be fine. I think that defense has just been lacking, and that's kind of why he's been losing like these close games to like A&M and all that. I think the defense is kind of what really just kind of held them back. I mean, they've never had an issue with offense at all.
That's a big thing for me too, because another point that I was gonna make with Jeremy Pruitt was their target for defense. Yep. The defensive coordinator that's in now was a plan B. I know he's there now. Pruitt was plan A, but all what happened with Pruitt, plan A's gone out the window now. So I'm not saying this guy can't come in and do a good job, but I don't feel like this move was a permanent move for Alabama. It seems it's going to have to be now, but just a lot of things aren't really falling their way like it has in the past.
Yeah, the talent goes in and out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, about as fast as a Dodge Charger through Athens, Georgia.
Okay. All right. God.